Want to talk about some recent news that made headlines. First, about President Biden. Last week, he announced that Israel offered up a proposal that would be enduring ceasefire that would include the release of all hostages. Is this type of deal something that you would support?
Well, you have to look at the fine details of the deal, but I believe this is a step in the right direction. I do believe that the devil's always going to be in the details, but I support the releases of hostages. I support a ceasefire, and I support the ability for Gazans to rebuild their communities. And if that's what we're seeing here taking place, I'm glad that the conversation is shifting in that direction. We need to continue to move our foreign policy into a that ends militarism and supports diplomacy and peace. And if this succeeds, I think it will be a proof of concept for every other theater of war around the world.
And President Biden, as you know, has gotten flack from the left for not doing more to support Gazan life, gotten flack from the right for not standing maybe as steadfast to our biggest ally in the Middle East, Israel. Where do you differ when it comes to Middle East policy with President Biden?
Yeah, so I believe that Israel should have been using a scalpel instead of a sledgehammer response to October 7th. I absolutely support their right to respond to the horrible, horrible actions of Hamas, but we could have done that without using airstrikes that killed. And I think that's my area of difference, is that it took tens of thousands of Gazans to die before the Biden administration finally moved and pushed back against Israel. I think if we were a true ally to Israel, we would be the ones explaining to them that the policy of airstrikes actually further inflames tensions and makes it more dangerous for the average Israeli in the long run.
I now want to turn to major news for the GOP leader, former President Donald Trump. He was convicted on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records last week. What's your reaction to the conviction?
Well, my reaction to the conviction is it seems that all of a sudden Donald Trump cares about miscarriages of justice. He had 4 years as president to worry about the miscarriages of justice that happen all over this country and communities all over this country, but it only affected him when he was a convicted felon. I believe in the trial by jury process. I believe in due process. I believe in the process of appeal. I'll be exercising. Ultimately, I have to support our criminal justice system as the framework for defending our rights in court. So I'm inclined to say, let this process play out. But I believe that Donald Trump maybe should have had more empathy for those who are suffering miscarriages of justice in the courtroom.